Hey friends, welcome back to Rita Talks. I'm Rita, and on this YouTube channel, I just share some of the thoughts, ideas that I've been thinking about, some of the things that have been going on in my life. In today's video, I want to talk about something that I've just been thinking about while I was reading a few paragraphs of a research paper and like working a bit on the script for my first big AI video. And I don't know, my brain just went down this route of what my life could be. And basically I was reading this paper and there are many concepts that I just noted down that could be good video ideas. And I guess one thing that I think might be like my long-term thing, like my Ikigai in some sense, is basically just explaining like complex mathematical stuff that's from research papers and everything, but in a way that breaks it down on my main YouTube channel. So like what's stochastic gradient descent, what's I don't know, let's look at some of the ones that I just wrote down today. What's Fréchet inception distance, so feed, so this is a distance that's used a lot to measure the quality of these generative AI models from the image perspective. What is distillation-based diffusion models? What's the difference between conditional and unconditional super resolution tasks? All of these kinds of questions that I'm just asking myself as I was reading this basically Ikigai paper. So that's like a generative model based on generative adversarial networks, and giga, so huge adversarial generative adversarial networks. And basically this whole vision of what my life could be is that basically every day all I do in the morning is read papers and like dive into the mathematical aspect and basically just distill it down to like the core components and like explain these mathematical notions in a way that's understandable to other people, and basically have these be self-contained videos, so small self-contained videos like the video ideas that I was just talking about. So what is X, what is Y, what's the difference between X and Y, and like all of these concepts. What is bootstrapping? What are confidence intervals? What is instruction fine-tuning in large language models? What is model drift? Different types of model drift, input or concept drift. What are the different types of rankers in search machine learning models? How do large language models work? What are attention errors? Like basically here I just have this huge list of like basic mathematical like machine learning concepts. I'm just trying to break it down, and basically I just gather this as I read more research papers. Is that I mean I'm just like, as I'm reading through these concepts, like they in these research papers is that basically they reference a lot of stuff. It's like super condensed, lots of stuff that is super condensed, and so they just reference it like we used this type of GAN network, projected GAN network, whatever, and it gave us this result. But they don't explain what this projected GAN network is. They just link to the paper that introduced what this projected GAN network is. I don't know if that's actually something, but I think that I read it in the paper that I was reading today. Let me just confirm that's the name. So let's see, projected. I was reading something there about that. Actually, it's fine. Yes, projected GAN, as proposed by projected GAN, and they link to the paper between brackets, but they don't define what projected GAN is. And so unless like you're super deep into this field, like you have no idea what projected GAN is and what it does and what are the benefits and all this stuff. And so like basically there's like an infinite number of ideas that I can just distill every day. And I just thought like this potential future for me where literally the only thing that I do, I wake up, read some machine learning papers, read some books, read all of this stuff, find some interesting uh, things that I want to distill down, and just turn on the camera and like go through a mathematical proof and like explain it in a way that's easy to grasp for a beginner. And also it's like a way for me to just like learn better about these concepts, because basically like I can have an immediate um, outcome, which is basically to explain it to someone else. And I guess like I've learned this from experience, is that literally the best way that I can learn about something is to try to teach it to someone else. That's one of the things that I've been trying to do, is like force myself to teach more. I've been tutoring, I mean not that much, but basically just a little bit here and there. But also at work, I just try to seek opportunities to teach stuff that I want to learn about, because it's like a forcing factor for me to just distill down to the most essential parts and like view it from the perspective of how am I gonna explain this to someone, and that makes it easy for me also to understand. And so just basically doing this every day, and just like I just view, like literally glance through this potential future of mine where I literally can be making maybe at least one video a day, where I just distill down a concept. Like if I have a system where literally I have my iPad set up, have the camera set up, and I can just click one button and like just start explaining a concept or something like this, that would be super freaking cool. And I can literally do it every day. Like every day, new machine learning concept that you can learn. And basically, that would be my, you know, somewhat of a filler content. Um, and I can also have like a weekly video where I can just talk about like a bit more of a journalistic type video, where I just like make it for extreme beginners, where I can just link to all of these notions, and basically like these notions are super advanced, but basically force myself to view them from the lens of someone who does not have all of this context, and basically force myself to dive down and then dive back up really fast, and basically train my ability to go from the big picture to the smallest detail, and then go back again to the big picture and to the smallest detail, and be able to link those, because that's where the real learning is, and that's what I want to be like to be doing by design of my life. And I don't know, I just really got excited about that. Like there's so many possibilities there, and I genuinely believe that I can do it. And if I just make basically this small deliverable where I can just answer one question: what is this? And or what is that? And how does it fit into the big picture of AI, machine learning, all of this stuff? Like that's exactly what I want to go for. And I don't know. I just imagined uh, like this future that seems far away but exciting and possible in my head. And I guess I just need to like I'm just trying to train myself to get there, and like basically take small steps towards getting there. And part of those small steps is like basically reading a few paragraphs of a machine learning paper every day, working on the main channel video, whichever main channel video that I'm working on every day for a bit, So I guess right now it's still my first video that I'm working on, but I just want to have this be part of my day-to-day life, and eventually, like hopefully, like I can't think of a better way to live my life than this. Like literally just reading mathematical papers. Like I just find so much joy in that. I don't know. It's like I don't know. That's just something that I really truly enjoy, and basically forcing myself to learn it in the best way that I can, because I have this output to come out of it, which is to be able to explain it to someone else within the same day, and that will be a good forcing factor for me to just get the concepts down, and like just drill down to the most essential parts, and like basically distill it down enough that I'm able to explain it, and like find what are the breaking points. So like what are the inflection points that lead to one outcome or the other outcome, and that basically gives me the model in my head. So then I just need to remember like the in a way compressed part. I mean compressed in terms of information theory compression. So not of lesser quality, but more efficient storage in my head. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's like a information theory pun, or I don't know if that if it does qualify as an information theory pun. That just made me so hopeful and so excited about this potential future. Um, and I really want to see this happen. I think for now it's okay that I can dream about it, and like I can somewhat see it in my head that this is genuinely possible and that I can definitely do this. And I don't think like the thing about this is that I know that it would be mentally challenging enough for me, that it will just be genuinely exciting, and I will just have enormous levels of curiosity to like towards this, that I genuinely believe it will be like the perfect balance. Basically it will be mentally challenging, but also um, like in the right level of difficulty, because it will also basically force me to improve my skills, and like basically just converge towards a better understanding of the topic. And yeah, I mean it just sounds like such a compelling and cool future. I'm just um, looking forward to see how this pans out. I mean, for now, for sure, I cannot do it just yet, but I'm slowly working towards it, and I want to have enough enough votes, habit votes, towards this, that um, I will just converge towards this lifestyle little by little over time, and I genuinely can't think of a better way to to spend my life, just learning and teaching, and most of all, like teaching a topic that I genuinely find interesting and intriguing and exciting, um, and that I believe that I can really excel at. And I don't know, it just sounds super cool. And so right now I'm just allowing myself to dream and visualize that. I mean, not visualize that in my head, but imagine it. And slowly but surely, I'm hoping to creep towards that, and like trying to make that vision come to life and become part of my day to day. So yeah, like just keep on believing on the small actions and the atomic habits and these small things that will uh, eventually lead me there. And trust in the process, basically, that good stuff will happen as long as the inputs are there. And yeah, well, I don't know. It just sounds such an like such an exciting vision, for the future. And also basically like what I'm doing right now tangentially is like trying to improve my communication skills, like my ability to express my ideas. And basically developing this tangential skill will allow me to be better at that skill of explaining those technical concepts, but in a way that's relatable and that makes it accessible to a wider range of people, because this is generally a topic that is here to stay, and topic that more and more people will want to learn about. And so I do think that the long-term vision for this would be for my YouTube channel or whatever that medium is, to be the one-stop shop for learning about artificial intelligence and machine learning. And it can be from basically the like literally beginner level, like you have no idea what the heck this is and how it's working, to like literally understanding research level concepts, and basically bridging the gap that takes you from like not knowing a single thing about the topic to like understanding it to the deepest of details. And basically it can basically span the whole range of capabilities and address that whole range of capabilities, because that's what I hope, that's what I hope to develop. That's the knowledge that I hope to develop as a person, as a long-term thing. I want to understand every single aspect from the beginner level to the most intricate details, in a way that I don't get lost in the details and I don't stay too general, and that I'm able to navigate the whole spectrum of complexity and difficulty within this field, and basically just constantly question my assumptions and like basically try to build back up, like go back down in my knowledge tree to the most basic concepts, and then like so go back up to my most basic concepts and then go back down into the most intricate details with an ease. And I guess the best way that I can think about this, and the analogy that always comes to mind, is this HRV thing related to cardiovascular health. And that's your ability, like how fast can, like what's the highest variability that you can have in your heart rate. So basically, like let's say you are at a high heartbeat, how low can you get within a millisecond of being in that high heartbeat, and go down to as low of a heartbeat as possible. And that's a good measure of your cardiovascular health, because if you can go from a super high heartbeat immediately to a super low heartbeat, that's a sign of basically really, really good cardiovascular health, because you're really able to adapt. Like your heart is genuinely able to adapt to your body's needs, and so it's not using any more heartbeats than it needs. And like the second that it does not need the high heartbeat to function, it immediately goes down to a rest state, and it's completely efficient in that sense. And I want to do the same thing for my like machine learning, artificial intelligence knowledge, where I can go really quickly from the highest level concepts all the way down to the deepest level of detail in the fastest way. And the best way to do this is to do it so many times that it just, the pathway in your brain is just so myelinated that it's just like this. And that's what I'm hoping. That's the depth of knowledge that I'm hoping to gain from this, and basically from trying to explain these concepts over and over again from the perspective of different levels of expertise, so that I can immediately adapt to, okay, if I have a like just starting beginner to like having a research level discussion, like within the span of like, I don't know, 5 minutes, I can just switch on the different modes, and the ability to switch between the different modes is representative, like the speed at which you or like anyone is able to switch between those different modes is kind of representative of their level of expertise there. And I want that speed like to increase as much as possible, or basically that time between, like the time it takes to switch from one really high level task to one really low level task is super slow. So like decrease time, so increase speed. And yeah, I mean, I just got super excited about like just thinking about this. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. Anyway, thanks a lot for tuning in today. I hope this was somewhat helpful to you. You can click here to watch my previous video on this channel, so the one right before this one, and you can click here to watch my latest video on the channel overall. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day, night, whichever time of day it is where you are right now. Bye for now, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye!